Ahoy, hoy, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, now hopefully, if I edit this in time, you should be seeing this on Thanksgiving Day. So, happy Thanksgiving from The O Show, everyone. Yay! Don't know if you saw my last video, but I have these what's this 24K gold eye mask mess on my face because we gotta take pictures on Thanksgiving, so I'm trying to be cute in time. So I think they're these things are fucking slide on my face. So I don't know, but I don't know how y'all wear these because anyway. I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite Thanksgiving movies, and pretty much that just means two. So in the last video, I did talk about the movie Dutch that came out in 1991, written by John Hughes, not directed, but this one was written by. However, I will talk about John Hughes' other movie, not related, but is similar to Dutch. But of course, I am talking about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, you can't have a Thanksgiving without planes, trains, and automobiles. Like, I feel like that's like the if not the main Thanksgiving movie to watch. It's the only one that just really matters in life. So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles came out in 1987, and it stars Steve Martin as Neil and John Candy as Doyle. Wait, no, it's not. His name is Dale. Look, I'm already mixing movies. Yes, Dale. All right, this movie is just so fun. It's so funny. And I feel like we can all relate to at least one thing about this movie. If not, being on a plane and your plane gets delayed, or there's a big storm in Chicago, and they go, "We're gonna go to Wichita, Kansas," for no reason, because Chicago's here and Kansas is here. Just stupid. Cab rides, trains, buses. When have we not been on something that you're like, motherfuck, like, what am I gonna do now? So yeah, it's such a fun watch. So let's talk a little bit about it. So pretty much the movie starts with Steve Martin's character in a meeting in, I forgot what state. Was it New York? But now he's trying to get to Chicago for Thanksgiving. He has it all planned out. If he leaves at this time, he can make this flight and get home. But of course it didn't happen. So we start off with a cab snatch, which is the first encounter between Neil and Dale. They get to the airport. They end up on a plane, and there they are together. Which, by the way, so I don't have. Oh, my DVD is over there. I meant to show it to you guys, but there's a deleted scene on the DVD that I have where there's a dinner situation happening on the plane. So the guy you're watching me. Okay, you're right. You're watching me here. So it's this old man, Neil, and Dale sitting on a plane, right? I think my order is right. So the guy that's sitting by the window is actually the old man from Home Alone, when the mom is trying to convince this old couple, please, I'm trying to get hold of my son. And the old lady's like, "Ooh, I feel so bad for her." So that man's next to her is the guy that's on the plane on this movie. But there's a whole scene where they're eating food, and I can see why I got deleted, because we didn't need that mess. But it's really weird, with the food they're eating. There's a whole scene where John Candy's like, "Are you eating this? Well, give me this." And, "Oh, that's a lasagna that just been reheated. It's craziness. So anyway, Chicago's having a really bad storm. So the plane gets sent to Wichita, Kansas. And of course they're like, "Ooh, we gotta get to Chicago." So craziness happens after that. So they end up going to a hotel for the night, and they end up only having one room, one bed. So the two men have to share a bed, which, okay, in the 80s, I guess it was like, ooh. Nowadays, I'm like, look, just stay on your side. um, Hilarious scene. This is the scene where in the morning they wake up and Neil is like, well, where's this hand? And Dale's like, it's between two pillows. He's like, those are pillows. Like, that scene would just never be funny. Never not be funny. But here's the thing. Apparently, also, there was a deleted scene, obviously, because what used to drive me crazy about this movie is that they say they're taking showers, right? And Neil is in the shower, and there's a whole... He's soaping up and the water goes off, blah, blah, blah. But when he's done with his shower, he opens the curtains and he just sees this mess that Dale made. But what just, and I'm sure it drove you guys crazy too. Like, you had to have seen all that when you walked into the bathroom. You had to take your clothes off to get into the shower. And they don't make it a point to show like he's in the shower. Then Dale comes in and uses the washroom and that's how it got fucked up. But I guess it was a deleted scene there too, because while he's in the bathroom, Dale does come in and says, I got to use the washroom or do something. And he does all this shit without Neil knowing, because Neil's like, oh, I'm in the shower. And Dale's like, well, I'm not looking, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know why they cut that, because it just messes me up. Because I'm like, how did you get into the shower and not see this fucking mess in the bathroom? So I'm putting that out there. Yeah, like my OCD like kicks up to like 130 points whenever I see this scene, because it makes no sense, but it's still funny overall. Okay, so after the hotel scene, they go to eat and they find out they got robbed that night, and so Dale is like, I have a friend who's gonna have someone pick us up and hook us up with train tickets. Like, I got the train tickets, like, done. So yeah, that happens, and is this stuff sliding down? This is not cute. Okay, so look, what was I saying? So they're going to go to the train station, but here's my thing. There was this whole scene that Dale's like, I got the train ticket, like, whatever, I got a friend, blah, blah, blah. But when we get there, Neil is at the train counter. He goes, well, I can only get these two tickets, and they don't have no one, blah, blah, blah. Did he pay for tickets? I don't understand. Like, the money situation in this movie just drives me fucking crazy. Do you have money or do you not have money? And then one says, I have the train tickets. It's fine. A buddy owes me a favor. But then the other guy seems to be the one at the ticket booth. So that always drives me crazy. Like, All right, the train breaks down. They have to cross a field to get somewhere. And then once again, like, as much as Neil wants to leave Dale, it's not happening. So they're together again, and they end up on a bus. And that's a funny scene too, where they're like singing on the bus and everything. Neil sings a song that no one cares about, and then Dale, goddamn, I'm gonna say Doyle this whole movie. Dale sings like the Flintstones, and everyone's all about it. Like, I would too. So I'm not judging. They get to the end of where they are with the bus, and they're at an airport, and then comes the rent-a-car scene, y'all. Hashtag B5. He goes to B5, there ain't no car. So he has to now, even though he missed the bus to get back to the airport, he has to now cross a runway and cross the expressway to get back to the airport. And then you got the funniest scene ever.
I want a fucking car right fucking now.
May I see your rental agreement?
I threw it away.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, what?
You're fucked.
So we got Dale coming out and Neil coming out, and Dale ends up renting his own car, and these two end up in a car together. And they're driving and cruising until Dale is falling asleep and getting crazy and ends up driving on the wrong side of the road, which I will say that has happened to me before. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. Um, Funny ass scene. This whole like devil and skeletons that they use for the special effects is fucking hilarious. Um, Car catches on fire. However, it ends up being like drivable, so questions, but it's part of the movie, so let's go with it. So anyway, they're driving this car. They get to a hotel. Neil has had it. He gets a hotel room. He's like, "Fuck Dale." You go sleep in the car. Well, Dale does anyway, but Neil feels sorry. Brings him into the hotel. They start to kind of bond. Next day, as they're driving, they get pulled over. Car gets impounded. Once again, they're stranded, and so they end up on a truck. And they are now in the back of this, like, I think it was like a freezer truck. I forgot was it eggs? I forgot what was in this truck. But they're driving and they're cruising. So, oh wait, now to think about it, I think it was cheese. It was cheese. That's what it was. They were on a truck with cheese in the back. Okay, so anyway, wherever they get to, they end up in Chicago. So again, people who don't have money all of a sudden have fare for the Chicago L trains, which to be fair, back in the 80s, I'm pretty sure the fare was like 50 cents. I don't know, something ridiculous versus I don't even know how much it is to ride the L anymore. I'm bougie, so I don't ride the L no more. But last time I got on a bus, I swear it was like $3. Oh, God, horrible. So anyway, as Neil is getting home to obviously the suburbs, I don't know where he thinks he's going with on this L train, but he starts putting two and two together, and he realizes that one time that Dale said, like, "Well, I hardly don't go home. I'm on the road all the time." He's like, "Wait a minute. He doesn't go home, but he supposedly has this wife that he loves, blah, blah, blah." So again, he could have had a transfer, but I doubt he had a transfer. But Neil gets back on the train, comes back to the station they got on, and there goes Dale at the station. And then he eventually tells him, like, "My wife died a long time ago. So the lady who I've been talking to, yes, I do love her, but she's not alive right now. She's been dead, and I'm just on the road." So the movie ends with Neil bringing Dale to his house in the suburbs. It's not fucking Chicago. He's like that. That's like that joke that we have in Chicago. Like, you meet someone and you're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And they go, "Oh, I'm from Chicago." And then you realize they live in Naperville. That's not Chicago. That's the suburbs, bitch. So that's exactly what's happening here. So anyway, yes. So the movie has a little happy ending, and I really want to know what Neil does to Dale. Does he kick him out the next day? Because I would not have that man living in my house. So anyway, that is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You know what? Also, how long have these things been on my face? You know what? I don't even think they're on right. So I'm just taking these off. But you know what drives me crazy with this movie? And I feel like they did this on purpose. So there's a scene where the mom... No, this looks horrible. My eyes still look dark. What's happening? There's a scene where Neil's wife is laying in a bed watching the news. And the news is like, "Oh, the snow at O'Hare is clearing up, so we should be getting planes in." So I guess you're supposed to kind of wonder, I guess, because why else would this be in the movie? You should probably kind of think like, well, what if Neil and Dale, specifically Neil, just stayed at the airport? Just, get a cot. I don't know what they do at the airport. That's never happened to me. But you know, if you had to like sleep there and just kind of wait out the storm, if he would have ended up at home quicker than this whole 2 extra days of shit. Because they say like we are cleaning up the snow is calming down and we're going to clean it up. Then I guess we wouldn't have a movie. So it is what it is. But it's there. So I feel like it's there for you to be like, So anyway, have you guys seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Please say yes, because if you haven't, you get up on it. Let me know in the comments your favorite parts. Did you notice anything else in the movie? Like I said, like that whole money thing, I feel like they knew what they were wanting to do, and then they filmed it, and like the editing was like, oh, it's too late. Like, we're not gonna refilm this. I think there are other deleted scenes, but yeah, that whole bathroom thing in the first hotel, just with the pillows. Yeah, that still drives me crazy when you watch it. You're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I think this is. I'm not doing another Thanksgiving episode, so that's it. So I don't know what's gonna come after this episode, but until then, TTFN.